call myself a photographer and multimedia artist. I focus on portrait, fashion, and still life work. I also do a little bit of video and film here and there. I have another YouTube channel for that actually, which is what I started off with. I've been doing this for about 10 years-ish, more so as a hobby. I graduated from Sheridan College with an honors Bachelor of Photography, and that was a 4-year program. I graduated in 2020 during the pandemic, which is great. I've been doing this professionally as a career for about 5 to 7 years. I decided to show my year-end portfolio when I went to Sheridan, so this is the work that I did over the years. It's not that big. I mean, in size it is. This is, I think, 11 by 14. Most of it is my thesis work, and I focused on visual maximalism, which is known as the overstimulation of color, texture, and pattern. So this was printed by Picto. This is the glossy cover, 11 by 14. This is a custom cover that I worked on, and this is my old branding. A lot of thought went into the way that I wanted to present my images when it came to portfolio reviews to people who might be interested in hiring me, such as photo editors. I personally wanted to sequence my images in a way that would reflect my body of work. It's bold and energetic and sort of in your face. So I have a lot of full bleed pages, so not a lot of borders left. On campus, we had this small gallery, and there was one person that worked there most of the time, and a lot of people knew him as the gallery guy. And for a video project in 3rd or 4th year, I can't recall, there was a group project we had, and we had to choose someone to interview. And we chose the gallery guy because you see him a lot, but you don't really get to talk to him or hear about his experiences or how he came to be the gallery guy. And it was a very enlightening, inspiring, and interesting conversation because he would talk about the ways of seeing. And he said that a lot of people aren't noticing tiny little details in their environment or in their work, and how when you pair images together, then it completely changes up the story rather than seeing the images on their own. So that's something that I also kept in mind while working on this portfolio book. I just went to my closet and took out this box. This is my print box, and it has my thesis prints, some collages that I worked on. So we had this one activity in class before making our portfolio where we had to print out a ton of photos that we took before. And these are all photos that I would consider to be in my portfolio book. So these are, I don't know, like 100 photos that I printed out. It's not the best quality, but just wanted a small preview of it. So these are photos that I've taken since 1st year of friends, models, people that I met on Instagram, even people that I reconnected with that I haven't talked in a while, or people that reached out to me. I was obsessed with portrait and fashion way more than still life. Like in college, I hated still life. I remember a prof telling me to just put a smiley face on it so it'd be the same thing, but I was like, hell nah, you ain't never gonna see me doing that. And now like half my website is still life work, and that's what got me published. So what we did was get into groups, and we would talk about what photos work best for each of our portfolios based on the type of images that we focused on. And I remember having all my photos laid out on this giant table because I had so many prints, and I wanted to make sure that I could make the best possible portfolio that I could based on all the images that I ever had. I didn't want any shoot to go to waste. The process of creating this whole portfolio book was sequencing and curating, and that meant taking out photos that didn't belong in the portfolio book, even though there were some that I really wanted. Like, people gave their reasons as to why they wouldn't fit, and we went into this with a lot of thought, and it wasn't just like a random collection of photos. Some of these images, I remember my prof folding it in different ways to see how it would fit on the page. So say we had that full page spread that I have on my portfolio. Instead of having it as one single horizontal image, we had it as a vertical, and I cropped it like this, and it ended up being a 2-page spread, and that really made a huge difference in the way that I told the story of my work in my portfolio in this portfolio book. There wasn't only the trouble of choosing which shoots to have, but also which specific photo from each shoot to have in the portfolio. And that used to be one of my hardest things that I dealt with when handing in images or assignments for a critique for each professor, because I'm like, I don't know how people choose like the one proper image. I can see how people do it now because I'm a lot more hard on myself and I don't have like repeat images of the exact same thing. For example, even though this was the main image that we chose, from that photo shoot there were over 300 selects because I just kept going at it for hours and I got all excited with all the different possibilities and the set building and stripping some things down from the set. So these were some of the selects. These are all unedited. I know we're meant to include our best images so that we would really build that impression for others, but I sort of regret not having more of a body of work because I think that one thing that's really important is showing consistency, and showing that yes, I can do the same thing over and over again, and yes, you can hire me and you will expect the same results and you won't be disappointed with what I deliver to you. Also, it has been like 3 or 4 years, so I'm like so tired of the work in here, and artists are their own biggest critics, so I always know I can do better. I don't think of this as a bad thing. It's not like I hate the images. I've just outgrown them. When you've outgrown something, it means that you're growing as a person and as an artist, because now you can look back and see the mistakes instead of thinking that you're all that and that you have no room to improve or to learn. But also, flipping through these pages right now is just making me really appreciate where I started and where I am now. I'm really proud of the hard work that I put into all these pages and every single photo shoot that I've done. It's a really different experience seeing everything printed and in one place instead of having the sporadic amount of images all over the web and on the socials. When you have a printed image in front of you, then you look at it a lot longer. You're focused more on the details and just instead of just swiping through it quickly online, because it gets very overwhelming to see the amount of images online and you don't really get to sit and look and appreciate every single thing that goes into one image. Scrolling through your feed really quickly is like skimming through a story. You're not really absorbing the entire story that's written in one image or one project that someone does. I don't think it gives it justice at all, and that's why I love going to galleries and shows, because you can just stand in front of the artwork and look at it as the artist meant for you to see it. I also noticed that when you print images, you appreciate them a lot more because it's not always in front of you. It's like a time capsule that you're looking back at, and sometimes you forget that you took that photo.